Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. There's been a lot of news this week, a lot of really unexpected news this week. In fact, a lot of us probably thought we weren't going to hear anything about the next Battlefield game for months, at least until next year, but then obviously we get all this stuff dropped on us, and EA is sounding in touch, and they actually seem to be pretty competent, which is really strange. Typically right about now, there'd be a bunch of Reddit threads yelling at them, and I'd be losing my mind in YouTube videos going, oh my god, like someone shut the company down to stop talking. But no, we're listening to the things they're saying, and even in my comment sections, you guys are going, there has to be a catch. What's the catch here? So in this video, we're going to sort of digest all the things we've heard so far, right? It's going to be a big roundup, and we're going to discuss the scary and almost impossible possibility that EA, for once in their life, could be onto something. They could be competent. They could be in touch, which is, I mean, this has to be a psyop. So buckle in. We're going to round all this stuff up. Thank you to everyone that has supported the past few videos. You guys are popping off. Thank you guys for hitting 65,100 subs. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and swing by the streams. I stream every single day. First link in the description. I also stream right here on this YouTube channel because, you know, I multi-stream because it's the 21st century. So the first thing they drop on us this week was just a completely spontaneous, random concept art that kind of caught everyone off guard. Not even Tom Henderson knew they were going to do this, and he's like the leak mastermind. So we get to react to that. Oh my god, what are they doing? And then they start talking some really strangely competent things. And before I talk about it, I know what the comment section of this video is going to be like. It's going to be full of people saying they're never going to trust EA, they're never going to trust DICE, and yeah, neither will I. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think at a certain point, if they actually do follow through with what they're saying, like, this is kind of an impressive 180. Now we have to wait and see. So the first thing that they start talking about is a bunch of this play testing, and during the EA Investor Day, they have one of the big top guys in front of a screenshot that says prototype, play test, and feedback, and he's talking about how they prioritize the game always being play testable, and they've been playing it for over a year, and that they're probably going to bring the Battlefield CTE back. And we're like, first of all, that's just crazy right then and there, because that's about the most effort they've put into Battlefield maybe for the past 8 years, just right there. Then to add on top of that big statement, they then tell us they have the largest, strongest, and most focused team in the history of Battlefield, on top of the EA CEO saying months ago that this game is one of the most ambitious projects in the history of EA. And keep in mind, guys, this is following the worst Battlefield release in the history of the franchise. And not only that, it's probably one of the worst FPS games ever released in the past 20 years. So just to put this into perspective, these statements that I've just mentioned very briefly here are like WWE level of grandiose and ballsy. Then after that, Vince Zampella says Battlefield 3 and 4 are the greatest Battlefield eras ever, and that he's heavily inspired by them, and how they're going to make a Battlefield game that represents something closer to that. They're going back to all-out warfare with air, land, and sea. They're going back to well-designed CQC-level maps. They're getting rid of 128 players. There's going to be no specialists. There's going to be natural disasters. They're updating destruction. They're going to try to expand the quote-unquote Battlefield universe by inevitably probably producing something to do with an extraction shooter or battle royale. The game is going to release at the end of the year. And on top of that, again, they're going to add a CTE. Are you kidding? Really? This is what you're going to try to tell us, EA, after you release Battlefield 2042? Well, honestly, let's see it. Because make no mistake, this can only go one of two ways. Okay, let's sort of explore the two ways. Way number one. They talk all this smack, right? The game releases, and it's a classic Battlefield launch. It's unbelievably disappointing, even though we didn't even have any expectations to begin with. The game dies, and that's pretty much it for Battlefield. Or, just for one time in their life, they shut each and every one of us up, and we actually get to see Battlefield, for the first time since Battlefield 1, become relevant again. For the first time in nearly a decade, we would actually eat our own words. And I would be so happy. Oh, I'd eat my own words so happily. Oh my god, on a silver platter, 3-course meal. Like, if they actually pull this off, it would be one of the most impressive franchise 180s I've ever seen. And then, just to top this week off, Tom Henderson comes out with an article leaking that they're apparently planning on, once again, bringing the CTE back. And apparently they're going to try to double the content compared to Battlefield 2042, at least in terms of weapons available on launch. The game is going to have 10 maps available when the game releases, which is comparable to, Battlefield 3, 4, and Battlefield 1. They're going to try to innovate something with destruction where it's caliber-based and different calibers cause different levels of destruction. Like, this all sounds way, way, way too good to be true. Where is the EA that is incompetent? Where's the EA that doesn't even communicate anything? What is happening? Because this is so backwards to what we have been used to seeing over the past 6 to 7 years with Battlefield. Could they have finally pulled their heads out of their ass? Like, are we witnessing this in real time, potentially? But then, of course, you have to think to yourself, okay, well, they have to deliver upon what they're speaking about, which, of course, they don't have a great track record of doing that. And then on top of that, you have to think about what is the catch going to be? Because there are so many things that could obviously go wrong with this. Number one, the new game mode comes out, the Battle Royale and the Extraction Shooter, perhaps. That game mode comes out, it dies as usual, no one cares about it, and the interest is just completely gone. Right? That is a real possibility. I've seen it happen twice in a row, in fact, both with Hazard Zone and Firestorm. Then, because I know how DICE and, they develop these games, they're not going to be able to resist innovating something that they consider to be an improvement or perhaps a cool gameplay element, but it's actually going to be something nobody asked for. A great example of that, once again, in Battlefield 2042, the Tornado, right? That's an innovation that took them, in the words of one of the main devs, 2 or 3 years to develop. And guess what? No one cared about it. They wasted so much money and so much time that could have been better spent. And I suppose the overarching thing here is we can't really trust them to be completely 100% solid in what they're going to do. Some priority has to be off somewhere, and until they show us otherwise, we just have to assume that's the case. So certainly a lot to unpack this week, a very unexpected week, and now begins the wait for the next Delta Force playtest, which is apparently October 14th to the 21st. Let me just be the first one to say here, man, that can't come any sooner because it is a drought out here. It is dry, it is painful, and I'm getting so bored that I'm actually considering doing an Elden Ring playthrough all the way through the DLC. So, if you want to see that, definitely swing by the streams. First link in the description. Also, if you enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on all of the stuff that has come out this week, and I am going to see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.